Tim Scott, the senator from South Carolina, who we've represented on a lot of briefs to the Supreme Court, in fact, one right now, friend of ours, it was the best response speech that I ever heard delivered. And there were some good. Bob McDonnell from Virginia did a very good one a number of years ago.
That's how rare it is to say that those
you could think of two in your lifetime. And
it's a very tough job.
Tim Scott was phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, so you got...
But then attacked.
There's response to Tim Scott making the statement that America's not a racist country, and then this backlash calling him, Uncle Tim, like the Uncle Tom, and this kind of idea that you can't, if you don't walk this party line, if you're African American, if you're black, and you don't walk the party line as a Democrat, you could attack someone. You can use racism against him.
Yeah,
and you could use the old racist attacks against him because he doesn't fit your narrative.
Can you imagine if it had been a conservative that was leading that racial slur on Twitter? How soon do you think would Twitter have blocked that phrase?
I was horrified at some of the comments that were up on Twitter targeting Tim Scott. And, of course, I remember this was, of course, pre-Twitter. The same kind of statements were being used against Clarence Thomas. And I want to go to Harry Hutchison, our director of policy, on this, because you would think that, when we talk about racism in America, we saw it last night. It wasn't it was coming from the left.
How dare he declare independence from the progressive plantation? How dare he express any independent thought about the future of the country?
The bright shining star on the firmament of the Republican Party is someone like Senator Scott. He's articulate, he is sincere, he is Christian in his thoughts. What a terrible thing to express your Christianity and to embrace it.
Right.
What a terrible thing that he quoted from Scripture at the end of his speech and made a statement about the grace of God. What an awful thing to say. What a horrible thing that progressives condemned him for.
Drew from his personal story, Cotton to Congress in one generation, and then obviously drew from his personal knowledge that, yes, America has flaws that we need to work through, but we're also the land of opportunity.
Andy, you sent me a text during Tim Scott's speech, and you said, this is the future. This is the way the Republican Party should be moving forward.
He made the statement that we're not a racist country, and we're not. We're not a racist country. There are racists in this country. There are racists all over the world. But Tim Scott, as I said, was the shining star in the firmament yesterday, and that is the face and the future of the Republican Party. If it is, I'm all for it.
Progressives believe that the only reason to support African Americans and to support African American voters is when they go to the ballot box. They cannot be seen as independent. And so progressives consistently express the bigotry, the soft bigotry or the harsh bigotry of low expectations, and that includes disallowing African Americans from having an independent thought.
Senator Tim Scott said last night that America is not a racist country. Do you agree with that? And what do you make of his warning against fighting discrimination with more discrimination?
No, I don't think America is a racist country, but we also do have to speak truth about the history of racism in our country.
It's exactly what Tim Scott said. Is anyone going to call out? No one would have the nerve, Harry, to say to Vice President Harris, okay, some kind of racial epithet, and that's what it is.
Vice President Harris has achieved a level of protection. Why? Because she is willing to, after admitting that the United States is not a racist country, then accept the progressive narrative that virtually everything in the United States is about race.
I've also experienced a different kind of intolerance. I get called Uncle Tom and the N-word by progressives, by liberals. Just last week, a national newspaper suggested my family's poverty was actually privilege because a relative owned land generations before my time. Believe me, I know firsthand our healing is not finished.
I'm going to just say it. This is, I keep saying that this is the future of the Republican Party. I think this is the future of the United States.